The situation with home buying right now is absolutely positively out of control. I mean, it's mental what's going on out there. So we got a new article in the Washington Post. This is Jeff Stein, who does phenomenal reporting, by the way. He's the economics reporter for the Washington Post. First-time home buyers are older with a median age of 36. That is the oldest since the National Association of Realtors started keeping track in 1981. Back then, the median age of a home buyer was 29. So now it's 7 years later. And by the way, many people can't afford a home and will never be able to afford a home. And this is distinctly different from what it used to be like. Let's be clear about that. So I'm going to give you some facts here. This is the article that I was referring to. Unluckiest generation falters in boomer-dominated market for homes. The median age of first-time home buyer climbs to 36 as high interest rates and asking prices further erode spending power. Look at this. This is from Wealth Management. I've shown you this chart before. Percentage of U.S. household wealth by age of generation's median cohort. Look who has all of the household wealth. The boomer generation are through the roof. Even Gen Xers, who are still, relative to millennials and Gen Z, they're still older, right? They're in between the boomer generation and the millennial generation. Even the Gen Xers are kind of getting screwed in this deal. But the boomers they hold all the wealth. Look at millennials. Look how low millennials are. Now, this chart was as of, I believe, it was from 2019. So it's not perfectly up to date, but this trend continued. So they say, according to Kimbrough, by the time the median baby boomer was 35 in 1990, they collectively owned 21% of the nation's wealth. Let me repeat that. By the time baby boomers were 35 in the year 1990, they owned 21% of the nation's wealth. Generation X collectively owned 9% in 2008 when they were 35. It will still be several years before the median millennial reaches 35, but currently millennials hold only 3.2% of the nation's wealth. This is unsustainable, and you absolutely are going to create an entire younger generation with very radical politics. Why? Because status quo politics has served them miserably. Of course, you're going to have people on the far right and on the far left, given that the status quo and the current state of affairs is crushing them. It's crushing them. So, the American dream is totally out of reach for so many people now, and there are definitely consequences as a result of that. You have to address this stuff head on. But of course, the politicians are bought and paid for by corporations and billionaires, so it's not really a priority. They're busy serving their donors. This is Fortune magazine's real estate editor. He showed this. If U.S. incomes spiked 69%, we'd return to pre-pandemic housing affordability levels. You would need U.S. incomes to spike basically 70% just to reach pre-pandemic housing affordability levels. And before the pandemic, it's not like housing was cheap. If U.S. home prices fell 41%, we'd return to pre-pandemic affordability. So you need U.S. home prices to fall by like half to get to pre-pandemic affordability. If mortgage rates fell 4.3 percentage points from 7.26, which is what it is now, to 2.96, we'd return to pre-pandemic affordability. So in other words, these high interest rates are really squeezing people and making it so they can't afford homes. On top of the fact that it seems like the housing prices are still not coming down, even though the interest rates have gone up. And if the interest rates are going to go up, the housing prices should come down. This was floating around the internet not too long ago. It used to be the case, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm getting the store wrong, but I think it was in like a Sears catalog or something that you used to be able to like purchase a home. It's like in the Sears catalog, it's like there's a page like here, like, ready-made homes type deal. And look at what it said. 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, screened-in porch, and a carport. The total price for that home, $7,450. $7,450. Monthly payments of $47.92. Here's another one. 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, and screened-in porch. Total price of $7,900. Monthly payments of $49.74. And Nina Turner tweets here. $7,900 in 1955. That's when this is from, by the way. This is when you could get a house in a freaking catalog that was mailed to you. $7,900 in 1955 is equivalent to $90,110 today. Try finding a house now for $90,110. You know where you're going to find it? First of all, you might just not find it. Second of all, even if you do find it, it would be in literally the worst neighborhood possible, and it would be falling apart in every imaginable way. The roof would be leaky. The walls would be moldy. It would be roughly 700 square feet, if that. There would be no, you wouldn't be connected to the sewer. You wouldn't have a water line. It would be like well water, like all the, you wouldn't be able to find it. And if you could find it, it would be a thing where it's like you take the 90 grand and you'd have to invest like another 300 in order to make it livable. She says $49.74 in 1955 is equivalent to just $558 today. Imagine having a mortgage payment of $558. Look, this is gonna breed real social ills, and it already has. I'm sure it already has. You have the suicide rate is through the roof, deaths of despair, addiction. You have all these massive, societal ills, and they're on the rise. And it's like, well, why is that? Well, we're talking about a lot of it right here. Here we're just talking about home buying, but, we can go down the list. Healthcare in this country is an absolute disaster. Our infrastructure is a mess. The unemployment rate is low, but a lot of these jobs are low-paying jobs. We don't have the sort of labor protections and unions that we once did in this country, and so people are just struggling to make ends meet, man. So this needs to be addressed at the policy level. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt. And if we're not going to do it, then again, don't be surprised as our politics continues to get more and more extreme and more insane, because the status quo is not okay, and it's not serving people, particularly in this instance, not serving young people. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You want to.